Thomas Jefferson displayed his pragmatism and creativity in other ways besides in his writings. Jefferson liked things, and one of his hobbies was making improvements to objects that already existed. His main goal in doing this was to make everyday life easier for himself and for his friends and family. Jefferson took a lot of pride in this work, as he writes in a personal correspondence with Charles Thomson about improvements that he, Jefferson, has made to a grist mill. One of his improvements was the result of his being a large planter in Virginia. Farmers in this area were plagued with soil erosion, which ultimately cut down on the number of crops that they were able to reap. So Jefferson improved the plows that they were using. His plow was better for using on the sides of hills. Plus, his improvements let the machine plow deeper down into the soil. And both of these improvements cut down on soil erosion. One of his favorite machines was the polygraph machine. Now, this wasn't a polygraph machine that we think of nowadays. This machine could make many copies of a document at the same time. It saved a lot of times because letters did not have to be copied over and over again by hand. Jefferson was so impressed with this invention that he would pass on ideas to the inventor, Mr. Peel. And Mr. Peel usually would incorporate these ideas into newer versions of this machine. Another machine Thomas Jefferson considered valuable was a cipher machine. He made improvements in the type of cipher machine that was commonly used in Europe, but he needed it to work more for what he needed it to do. So the wheel cipher was a machine that was used to scramble and unscramble letters in order to write coded messages. Jefferson used this machine while serving as Secretary of State under George Washington for national security reasons. However, he also used this machine in his personal writings, and Jefferson even gave one to Meriwether Lewis to take on him on his expedition to communicate back and forth with each other. His concern for security also was a reason for one of his household improvements, the dumbwaiter. Jefferson entertained many prominent people, and he knew that talk at the dinner table sometimes included topics best left private. So he developed a dumbwaiter to be used in the dining room. Food and drink was put into it in the kitchen area and it was sent to the dining room. This way, no servants could overhear their conversations. Another improvement he made was in a common one that we actually still use today. He modified a regular chair so the top part would move independent of the bottom half, making a swivel chair, as we often have in almost every office today. The story goes that Jefferson sat in this chair while he wrote most of the Declaration of Independence. So Thomas Jefferson not only put his pragmatism and creativity to use in literary areas, he also used them to make his and others' lives much easier.